Hello, hello. Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising, Curvies. Happy Monday. It's the first day of the week. Where does this one go? This way, I guess. Anyway, how are y'all doing? I'm still getting up, just got my coffee. I finished it already. Milo, wait a minute, wait a minute. I know you love me. You're such a good dog. You're such a good dog. Yes, Milo. I didn't call you though. I was just stretching. I was just stretching. Okay, you guys. Milo wants to say grand rising to y'all this morning. Yeah. Milo wants to say grand rising. Okay, you guys. So me and Milo are saying happy Monday. He's my co-host today. He will be listening for other dogs passing by. So when he goes ballistic, that's why. Milo. Yes. Did you tell the people good morning? Can you say morning, Curvies? Morning, Curvies. Can you ask them to smash the like button and smash the subscribe button? Huh? Will you tell them that their support is appreciated and we love them? Yes. Yes. Can you tell them that? Can you tell them that, my? Huh? Will you ask them to smash the like button and smash the subscribe button? Can you scream? Can you sing them to ring my bell? Huh? Huh? Can you sing them to ring my bell? Will you do that for me, Milo? You're an excellent co host. Now go ahead and tell him. Go ahead and tell him. You're not saying nothing? Well, he'll say something as soon as the dog passes. Grand Rising, be more shorties in the house. Thanks for coming through. Oh, yes. See, they're saying, hi, Milo. Hi. Yeah, they're talking to you. They're talking to you, bud. So, you guys, I'm just popping in here. I hope you guys had a bell run because I didn't even have this scheduled. I'm just trying to get back in the algorithm because I had taken off because my mom has the COVID. Well, she had the COVID. She is in recovery right now, and so yeah, I was kind of like, because what happened to my dad and everything. So I was just like, ah. Anyway, Milo, nobody wants to see your keister. Don't put that on me. I don't want it on me. You're trying to sit on my lap. My lap is already occupied with my fupa. Okay. We working on it. Gain a pound, lose a pound, right? Yeah, your notification did alert you. Right on. Well, thanks for being here. It looks like it's you and I, being more shorty. So to this morning, I know the Olympics ended yesterday, so I just wanted to go over a couple of things from that. And I had to come up in here because of that whole breakdancing fiasco. I'm like, that was not Beat Street, King of the Beat. There was not any rocking that beat from across the street. Beat Street is a lesson too. Don't let the streets beat you. I was appalled at that. I was like, so we're going to talk about it. And then we're going to talk about the Jordan and the medal decision. And then we're going to talk about the racism in freaking Paris. Okay. The racism that was in Paris, it was disgusting. They need to get their stuff together. They had lots of little incidences. Um, and then the women in wrestling, oh, that lady had to leave with the neck stretcher on. And then we're going to talk about, do a ballot check because my girl Mary Ann decided to just be like, okay, I don't want to be an agent of chaos. Let me just get behind who they are going to get behind because they want to stop Trump from getting in office. And I'm just like, because it does cost money to go. And she had made so many millions of dollars. There wasn't a real way for another person to compete in that arena, especially when the delegates had already done this stuff. But I still, if she's on my ballot, these other people aren't getting my vote. Period. I refuse to vote for an admitted devil. The lesser of two evils, you still end up with evil. So I'm going to be using my vote the way that I see fit. It's not selfish. It actually takes a lot of moral courage to not just fall and step and fetch in line with these two booty cheeks. And I won't be stopping anything. The DNC, like I said, they're the ones who stopped the democratic process by force feeding us these two freaking options instead of letting us hear from people like Marianne. We're going to go over the list of all the people who were supposed to be available for us to hear their ideals of, And we didn't get to hear nothing. But anyway, yes, Aisha Curry was assaulted by the police. Yes, we have that. Yes. The lady was a fraud. The freaking hip hop lady, and she has the nerve to be teaching cultural something on dance. Culture vulture is what you teaching. That's what it's given. Is this culture vulture 101? Oh, well, I'm in the right place. And then wanted to talk about her musicality. She reminded me of when my son is like, Mommy, look, Mommy, look, Mommy, look. And you encourage them because you want them to get better, not because they're like really super great right now. You just like encourage them. Like, yeah. To me, her even getting there and getting up on the stage where there was 0 Black people who invented breakdancing, by the way. They invented it. It was invented in Africa so many years ago. Okay, Ballot made it pop off. And we didn't have no representation in what we made. Really? Cultural appropriation. I'm not sure if there was like another kind of something that somebody could have like been the makers of and not ended up represented adequately in the thing. She made it to like the meddling thing to be on our TV, you guys. We're going to have to talk about it. So let me share my screen. Let's share the screen. I'll go over here. And so let's start off with this fiasco. I'm like, man. Here, this is where I want to start because this is what it reminded me of.
Straight. You want to do hip hop? You got to stand like this. In a hip hop head, we have this. Boom, bam. Every time. Or Your hands are always like this. Start out just hitting it. Hitting it. Hip hop is this. One, two, three, four. Hit. And this is me. This is how I am. This is a lifestyle.
Hello, wait a minute. This is my lifestyle. This is
hit. Peace. I'm out.
I'm out. Okay.
Milo, I know. This is what we call popping.
It's popping.
Straight. You want to do hip hop? You got to stand like this.
You got to stand like this.
In a hip hop head, we have this. Boom, bam. Every time. Your hands are always like this. Start out just hitting it. Hitting it. Hip hop is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit. And this is me. This is how I am. This is a lifestyle. This is it. Hit. Peace. I'm out. Hey, I'm Dina. This is what we call popping. Straight. You want to do hip hop? You got to stand like this. In a hip hop head, we have this. Boom, bam. Every time. Your hands are always like this. Start out just hitting it. Hitting it. Hip hop is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit. And this is me. This is how I am. This is a lifestyle. This is it. Hit. Peace. I'm out. Hey, I'm Dina. This is what we call popping. Straight. You want to do hip hop? You got to stand like this. In a hip hop head, we have this. Boom, bam. Every time. Your hands are always like this. Start out just hitting it. Hitting it. Hip hop is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit. And this is me. This is how I am. This is a lifestyle. This is it. Hit. Peace. I'm out. Hey,
I don't know how many. I could just watch that over and over again because I'm like, I literally saw the performance. I was like, was this a joke? Was this a joke? I'm like, they literally let her get up there. Did you see the whole routine, you guys? you couldn't really see it real good in this one. But I have it. Let's go see. Where'd it go? Oh, this is now that happened, this is gonna happen. Okay, remember that song. This is exactly what she was doing. Uh, 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 uh. We're giving out Olympic medals for mediocrity these days. You know how fast Sha'Carri Richardson had to run to even be considered to get in the Olympics, to get to the medals that she had access to? And this lady, what does she have to do? Why did she even get to be there? What is this? She looks like she's having convulsions. I was like, is she okay? Does she have a condition? You know, people with Tourette's, their bodies do things that they're not in control of. I'm like, what's going on? Is this literally a joke? This was a joke because this is what it's giving at the Olympics. Look. And look at the people's faces in the back. Like they don't even really. I want you to catch these faces of people in the back. Like they're like, is this a joke? They don't really know. They're like, is she okay? Should we call the medics? Um, Go ahead and smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, ring the bell. We jumped right in. There's 3 dots at the top, and you click those 3 dots, and that's how you get to where the likes are. Right on. Thank you very much. I see that like coming in. So I'm just like, how did this happen? Right? However, did this happen? Okay. So now let's go some more. I think we have the whole thing. Where'd it go? Do, 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 do. I sent so many things to myself from myself. Well, you got the idea from that. As it turned out, there was a Haitian guy in it, but he didn't make it to the thing. Can you imagine? He didn't make it to that round. So I can't play the music part, but this musicality is evident. Hey, so that's tight. And this was this guy. So, okay, so breaking made its official Olympic debut at the 2024 Paris Games, showcasing the athleticism and artistry of this dynamic sport. Okay, representing Team USA was Haitian American Jeffrey Lewis, known in the breaking community as B-Boy Jeffro. Hailing from Houston, Jeffrey began his breakdancing journey at 12. Okay, he faced off against the French breakdancer. Despite his strong performance, he missed advancing, losing to France's Danny Sivan with a close score of 13-14. Well, based off the way that the other scores happened, when obviously other people should have won, I wonder, did they even do all the vote on all the things they were supposed to vote on? Because like they're supposed to do artistry, athleticism, difficulty. I don't know what they're voting on over there. The competition saw another American standout, Victor. And yeah, and so I think we ended up ultimately taking home the bronze. And I saw that, and the person he went up against in Japan was doing a lot more, but I think it was he didn't win because he repeated a lot of the moves or something. Husband was saying. So they did have some representation, but they didn't make it to the finals. Isn't that interesting? Did you see who won? Did you see who won? I'm like, and then I'm like, is it necessary if you are in b-boy, like do you have to do like the do-rags, which is kind of culturally specific to Black people? Do you have to do like the cultural appropriation and put on a whole costume in order to convey your point? Or could you have just worn a baseball cap like the girl from Australia? Or did you need to put a baseball cap on with a do-rag tied like Tupac and have one of your legs up and one of your legs down like LL Cool J with overly baggy clothes like, like the culture? And I don't know. I don't know. Now when the people go skateboard, that's kind of like an inclusive or kind of culture, I guess, where, like the skating look is more of a grunge look and it's not like a culture specific, so to speak. But I don't know. I was a little torn. I was like, all these people from everywhere else kind of dressing as the culture and then doing these dances that were originated by Black people and that we used to get arrested for, busted up for. Ask anybody from the 70s when they used to carry the linoleum down to the corner and try to freaking get a couple dollars so that they could go get a freaking popsicle and some McDonald's and maybe go to the movie or something. And, and it originated and the boys would be standing, the B-boys would stand on corners and be doing their things and having dance ciphers and stuff like that. And um, it was like part of urban culture, you know? Um, so I'm just like kind of wondering how this even happened, where this lady could have come up here. But now that the lady did what she did, they are like making excuses for her.
On social media with trolls and keyboard warriors and taking those comments and giving them airtime has been really disappointing. She is the best break dancer female that we have for Australia. I love Rachel, and I think that what has occurred on social media with trolls and keyboard warriors and taking those comments and giving them airtime has been really disappointing. She is the best break dancer female that we have for Australia. I love Rachel.
So Reagan's has a lot of supporters, as you can see, including the higher ups in Australia. Now, I'm pretty sure that Aboriginal people have natural rhythm. And if they were allowed to compete in Australia's Olympics and they weren't so freaking racist over there, then maybe they could have had somebody that was really Australia's best breakdancer represent their country, because what we just saw was not the if that's the best, then God save the queen. If that was literally the best that you decided to send to the world stage to represent you, and you could have chosen to stay home, that's interesting. But hey, leave it to them to like stand by their man. Let me see. I had something else over here. Because not only that happened, but after she did that horrible dance, they were still pumping her head up after the freaking uh they were still pumping her head up on the way out of the freaking um Olympics yesterday. They were still pumping her head up. They all think they can dance now. They all think that what they do, if she can make it to the Olympics with zero rhythm, zero musicality, and zero moves, and be praised by an entire country, and oh my God, that was such a good try by the rest of the people that just didn't want to laugh at her, I guess. I don't know. But I feel like honesty would have been the best policy. Like, that wasn't hip hop. That wasn't breakdancing. That was it even a good try? I'm not sure. I'm not real sure. And I'm being really, really nice right now because I love breakdancing. And I was not pleased with this freaking thing. Look, it's not okay. She won't stop. They literally hoisted her up. Look. Now I don't see none of us around. Oh, there's one of us. He's like recording it and laughing. Okay. I don't know if he's really encouraging. It's crazy. So yeah, the routine from The Office, right? I say the B-boy and B-girls, along with crunk culture, make a petition, no inclusivity in this breakdancing is a mistake. Yeah. Well, I was also looking at what it takes to get there. They like travel all over the world, and they have a lot of the competitions are in Asia, Bangladesh. And I'm not sure how the Negroes from America are going to be affording to get over to Asia and Bangladesh. And these American athletes pay for all this stuff out of pocket. America doesn't really like come out of pocket for their Olympians. They use them for sponsorships. They use them for, being the best country and all that stuff. But they're not paying these Olympic athletes or giving them anything when they come back. Like, as a matter of fact, didn't somebody help pay the rent? Damn, I want to say Kevin Hart. Flavor Flav. No, Flavor Flav from Flavor of Love. He was helping pay rent of some of these Olympic athletes who had came out of pocket to get there, and they didn't know how they were going to pay their rent when they got home. And Flavor Flav is paying people's rent on the U.S. Olympic team. Other countries, when you win a gold or when you represent their country in the Olympics, they come home to houses, they get free food for a year, their families get set up, they have free medical, they get paid per medal, they get like a lot of different accolades and things from their countries. Like hundreds of thousands of dollars, stipends, all types of incentives. America, they get to keep the $950 valued medal because they stopped making the medals out of gold in like 1913, I want to say. Was it 1913? Anyway, they stopped making the medals out of gold. And now they're just like silver with 6 ounces of gold. And that's worth like $950. So, like they can't even go pawn that later, really. I mean, $950 is like gas for a month in America right now. So, yeah, yeah, I'm, yeah. Hip Hop Hooray has more rhythm than Rachel. Thank you. Grassroots Go Fund Them Kickstarter, right? I mean, it's really bad that as an American who's gonna represent the number one country and stuff, they're not sponsoring you really. They're not participating. They're not helping when you run into problems in other countries, and they're not letting you into the gate the way they let everybody else in the gate, and they're holding you up and not letting you practice. So that happened to Sha'Carri Richardson. And somebody else left the games. Yeah, somebody else left the games. Here it is.
Format is being able to express yourself through movement, being able to move your body to convey a message, to get something across.
It's like she's conveying that she's having a seizure. I don't know whose song that is. Copyright. But what is happening? Mm-mm. I'm kind of baffled. at it, it's disturbing that she's literally on a stage in front of the world. I feel like she's mocking. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's mocking. The more I look at this, the more it's like, is she mocking it? Is Australia mocking it? You missed it. It already went by. Oh yeah, my love, that dog is not working. Milo, relax. She was serious, you guys. I just can't. So yeah, I just look at her. Milo, you're standing on my hair. Get off my hair. Be quiet. That was loud. Look, somebody's comment is JoJo Siwa is taking notes. JoJo Siwa is taking notes. That is kind of what it's giving. It's like just trying so hard and it's just not, I just don't get it. I just don't. Anyway, what's good, girlfriends? Happy Monday. Yes, this is the woman who competed in the breakdancing competition because it was the first time breakdancing was at the Olympics. And there was none of us made it to the finals. Not one melanated person made it to the finals that I saw. Not one. And this lady was competing at the finals at the medal level. And she obviously lost. But this lady's from Australia and her name is Rachel Reagan. And she is doing, this is what she did at the Olympics, you guys. Isn't that crazy? I'm like, now the reason I'm showing it is because I was like so confused. I'm like, is this really, I'm not, I don't know. I just, and then they're like, this was the best dancer in all of Australia. I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's some Aboriginals that could have stayed on beat. I'm pretty sure they could have had some other people represent their country. Look, she literally just did that move, the sprinkler. She just did the sprinkler in the middle of a breakdancing medal competition at the Olympics. And the rest of it looks like she's having an epileptic seizure. What is she scratching the floor with her? I'm not sure. Hey, Erin, thanks for coming. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe. So I'm just baffled as to why she made it. And then when people are like, that is laughable, then this is what's also happening because these two help put breakdancing on the map. So this is what they're up in heaven watching Rachel Reagan breakdance at the Olympics, looking at each other like this. Because what? Really? Anyway. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So another thing that happened at the Olympics is, well, they tried to, there was a lot of racism at the Olympics. Let's go to, this is also, before we get off Rachel, this is Rachel. I thought these were so funny. I wanted to share them with you. Uh, 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 uh. That kind of looks like that dance. What was that girl from Siegfried or Seinfeld? And she couldn't dance, but she thought she could. And she had the long curly hair on Seinfeld. But she also dances like one of the people, like Kim from one of those things my son used to watch on a Disney Channel. And it was about, they had a dojo and on the dojo. It was in like a strip mall, and that girl thought she could dance too. She could whoop your ass with karate, but she couldn't dance. She would dance like this. It was hilarious. It's hilarious. Let's see. Edith Bunker, Elaine, yes. This lady looks just like Edith Bunker, but she's given Elaine from Seinfeld. Yes, Elaine. These are all kind of Elaine moves. And that's what that Australian non-break dancer was doing for me, was given all kind of no. And I love dancing, and I fancy myself a dancer. I had a couple pair of shoes. I did ballet, jazz, and flamenco, believe it or not. And because I love to stomp the yard. Yeah. So so I was really kind of put off by this whole ideal, like that's the best. I don't know. It's giving so much Elaine. So much Elaine. Bless their heart, though. Bless her heart. And bless her country for sticking by her and sending her, even though they should have been super duper embarrassed. Okay, now we're gonna look at, where's Jordan? I have Jordan over here, because did you guys hear? There was this iconic picture taken at, come on. There was an iconic picture taken at the Olympics. Wait just a second. I'm not sure why this is flipping back up. Here it is. I think Milo's going to go off again any second. There's a dog passing by. He doesn't really hear it yet. If he hears their little jingle on their chain, he's so. Okay, so at the Olympics, you may or may not have heard or seen. Let me see, is it in here? No. Okay, so at the Olympics, Jordan Childs, who's part of the Olympic team, and she trains with Simone Biles, you may or may not know. Well, anyway, let me look up Jordan. There it is, Jordan Childs. So there was where'd it go? Here it is. Let me send this. No, that's not it. Jordan Childs.
So happy for you guys. Okay, I would like to know, what is your team name? What's your team name?
Oh, and I was going to show you also the lady who was talking about that. So let me send this from ourselves to ourselves while we're doing this media. Wait, did I just put that to my story? I need to send it to us. So here, let me send it over here. And
I can't even imagine what this past week has been like for Jordan. It's just so heartbreaking, and I'm just so gutted. And the other athletes involved, this is completely devastating. I don't think people realize these gymnasts work.
Okay, let's see. They're not going to show us. There's this picture that was circulating of them. Oh, here it is. I'm going to send this to us because I feel like this might have been more what they were mad about, is this picture here, because this is what happened. Send it to us. There we go. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. Thanks for being here on LRGA Curves. Happy Monday. make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, ring the bell on your way in. So we had this as a moment in history where there were 3 Black women for the first time in history that were silver medals, gold medals, and bronze medals at the Olympics. Now, the woman in the middle, it's the first time that her country has ever gotten a medal, period, in gymnastics. And it was the first gold. And she got it. And she beat Simone, because Simone stepped out of bounds like twice, but her difficulty and all that was higher. Let's ask the phone. What are the gymnastics rated off of by the judges?
Scoring for both Junior Olympic and NCAA level gymnastics uses a 10.0 scale. Levels below level 9 start from a 10.0 automatically if all requirements for an event are met. Levels 9 and 10 and NCAA gymnastics all start below a 10.0 and require gymnastics to acquire bonus points through connections and skills to increase their start value to a 10.0. During a routine, deductions will be made by the judges for flaws in the form of the technique of a skill. This is from Wikipedia.
Okay, so they basically let's see. So there's the most competitive forms for artistic gymnasts: the floor, the vault, uneven bars, balance beam, rings, da da da. Okay. The word gymnastic derives from Greek gymnos, whose meaning is train naked. Train in gymnastics is generally to train and exercise. Okay. Now let's see disciplines. References, floor and scoring. Here it is. So they get scored on their landing, on their difficulty, like if they took a risk or not. And sometimes if they take too much of a risk, then they can get dinged because it was so dangerous. If they do a double foot landing compared to a single foot landing, um, all kind of stuff, right? So, but they're supposed to definitely be grading you on difficulty. At the bottom of the screen, if you ever saw the scores, they would have this gets this many points, this gets this many points, and this gets this many points. So the overall routine gets some points, let's say. The difficulty gets the points. And then the artistry gets some points. However, when this picture was taken right here, it happened after Romania thought she got the bronze. Okay. And the reason Romania thought she got the bronze was because she got a slightly higher score than Jordan Childs. Jordan Childs finished an excellent routine, so full of energy and everything. And then when she finished, her score was lower than the Romania. And her coach looked at it and looked again and was like, oh, you have a 0 for difficulty. And yours was one of the most difficult things. And the score can't be 0. It has to have something up there. So basically, the judges forgot to do their job all of a sudden. Like, you got one job when you're a judge as a gymnast judge. You got one job, and that's to do these 3 different scores, and then you put them all together and it's fed in the machine, and then the person gets their score to get their medal. So they remembered their job on all the other gymnasts. But then when Jordan did her routine, how did all the judges forget to score her for difficulty? So you have one job. and you do it for everybody else. And then for this last one, you forget. And she was the final run of the night, and you forget to do it, forget. And then Jordan's coaches were like, oh, but wait, that's a 0. What score goes there? And they did that at like 47 seconds after Jordan got off the floor, and they see the score. And then her team goes over to the judges 47 seconds later and is like, look, you didn't even put the difficulty score. What was that going to be? So then they added the difficulty score that they had all written down but forgot to put in the machine. And that made Jordan Childs get the bronze medal over the Romanian in gymnasts. And that's why we had these 3 melanated goddesses for the first time in history on the podium. Okay? For the gold, silver, and bronze, first time in history. Once they added the score that the judges forgot. So Jordan was so happy. Let's look at that. Jordan was so freaking happy about that. And so they go up and they take this iconic picture.
So gutted for Jordan. I can't even imagine what this past week has been like for Jordan and the other athletes involved. This is completely devastating. I don't think people realize these gymnasts work their entire lives for this moment. And it's supposed to be a celebration. You look at this video. This was one of my favorite moments at the Olympics, watching Jordan celebrate. I think it's so unfair. It's so cruel. And I don't think that Jordan should have to give her medal back. The IOC has given more than one medal before, and I think that they should do that now. It's awful.
Okay.
This is just so heartbreaking.
So this was Allie Reisman, and she's reacting to news that Jordan was being stripped of her bronze medal after all of that confusion. So after the judges didn't do the one job that they had to do, got caught and corrected under a minute, the lady was given her medal like she should have been. And then you know what happened? The Romanians went to somebody and cried loud enough, and they were like, well, any challenge was supposed to happen within a minute of the ruling, and America didn't do it within the minute. They took over a minute to do it. And that was what prompted the Olympic Committee to want to strip Jordan of her medal. So everything is taped. You have one job and everything is taped at the Olympics. Everybody can see what happened. And you're telling me that one official person was like, oh, well, let's just check the tape of when America alerted the judges that they didn't do their one job. Nobody checked the tape before they just turned and was like, oh, you have to give your medal back. We're going to strip you of that medal. We're demanding our medal back. Also, let it be known that there's only 2 ways that a medal, per the rules of the Olympics, is ever to be stripped from a person. And that's for cheating or for doping. Those are the only 2 ways to take my medal, is if I cheated or if I doped. The only 2 ways. Not because the judges didn't do their job and then got called on it and had to have the points counted. Not because Romania is saying, oh, they didn't get it in time. Those aren't reasons. Those aren't reasons. But for Jordan, it all of a sudden became a reason. Interesting. And that just goes along with the whole racist slip that was exposed in freaking France and Paris the whole time. Their whole attitude was stank. just like their river was infecting the freaking athletes. The sin is so infected, people had to go home to the hospital and have their stomachs pumped because it's so steak nasty, dirty. They came and took this woman's, they threatened to take this woman's medal after not doing your one job. Found out that you didn't do your job, finally do it. She wins. Then the Romanians cry. And because of their crying, instead of doing an investigation and make sure, you're going to go to this black woman and be like, give me back my medal, instead of just checking the footage. Let's get it. So then what happened was, let's make this big. Keeps going up and down. Then what happened was here it is. The US had to double back again and be like, look, first you're not doing your job, then we get you to do your job, and now you're undoing the job that you were supposed to do in the first place by coming back harassing our lady, asking her for a thing. So we're going to need you to run the tape back, because you know in America, we like timelines, receipts, proof. And if it's on camera, then we're going to ask the 8th housewife to run that shit back. Okay? So somebody must have been watching the Housewives once upon a time, because they asked the 8th housewife, can you please do a flashback and see exactly how long it took us as America to request this review for Jordan's missing points? Because, Romania is suggesting that we took 4 seconds over a minute. Romania was willing to let a better score, a better performance. So this is Romania's slip showing too. Romania was willing to want to cheat and win, knowing Jordan won, honestly, because her score difficulty was harder than the Romanians. But they wanted that medal so bad. They were like, well, she took 4 seconds too long. Instead of let the score be the score, she took 4 seconds too long. We want that medal. She shouldn't have it, because the rule is you can only get a minute. So the 8th housewife, the U.S. Gymnastics Appeals Court, to strip Jordan Childs of her bronze medal, submit video evidence. Leave it to the 8th housewife. We want it on video. Where's your receipt, Romania? Where's your receipt? Okay. First off, just do better. If you only going to get the medal because you cheated a person who literally did better, then is that really a medal worth having? I don't know. If I was a sportsman like that, I don't think I'd want that medal if I didn't really win it. It's not getting participation medals. Not everybody gets one. You got to be the best to get one. So they submitted video evidence that the coach did submit the score inquiry before the minute mark. U.S. Gymnastics on Sunday formally submitted a letter and video evidence to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, conclusively establishing that head coach Cecile Landy's request to file an inquiry was submitted 47 seconds after the publishing of the score, well within the 1 minute deadline required by the FIG rule. Now, I'm not sure why the court arbitration and all those people didn't just check the tape off top and check to ensure that all the scores were accurately tallied before they do a final anything. And all of this could have been avoided. It could have been. In the letter, the U.S. Gymnastics requests that the CAS ruling be revised and Child's bronze medal score of 13.766 reinstated. The basis for the CSA ruling on Friday, the striking down the inquiry, was the fact that the inquiry submitted on behalf of Miss Jordan Childs in the final for the women's floor exercise was raised after the conclusion of the 1-minute deadline provided by Article 8.5 of the 2024 FIG technical regulations and is determined to be without effect. The timestamped video evidence submitted by the USA Gymnastics Sunday evening shows Landy first stated her request to file an inquiry at the table 47 seconds after the score was posted, followed by a second statement 55 seconds after the score was originally posted. The video footage provided was not available to the USA Gymnastics prior to the tribunal's decision, and thus the USAG did not have the opportunity to previously submit it. I didn't like that they tried to strip her either. I don't think that she's stripped. I'm not giving shit back. You're going to have to come get me here in America, Kaka, and try to get your medal back. That's what's going to happen. Yep. That's what's going to, you're not getting shit back. I earned this. I earned this. And all those hoops of fire that you have me walking through. Oh, look, there was Rocket. You didn't even bark at Rocket. I don't know if you're going out today. Your son, your son needs to go work with you. I don't want you trying to eat the dog again. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Yep, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Mamere says, exactly, Curves. As an elite athlete, I would never want a medal for that I didn't legitimately win, right? I'm sure in 2028, at Los Angeles hosting, no foolishness. Well, we can hope. We can hope. That was just too much. Paris is gross. My family left that dump in 1610. The only thing still awesome in Paris is croissants. And for some reason, all the bread they eat over there doesn't make the people gain weight. So their bread is great. Their bread is great. Everything else is an issue over there. Yeah. Okay. So let's still look at this. So they're saying that she was stripped, but I don't think that she is, because this came out. She's like, she was taking some time to remove herself from social media. She was heartbroken. Just so y'all are aware, the history of the Olympics, in the history of the Olympics, no one has ever been stripped of their medal for this. There are only two ways that a medal can be stripped: cheating or doping, and she did neither. And then Simone hit us with, please keep Jordan and my family. Is that Jordan? Please keep Jordan and my family in your prayers. Racism is real. It exists. It's alive and well. See, I'm not the only one who be calling it out. I'm not the only one who be calling it out. Look, they said it right here. Racism is real. It exists. It's alive and well. They have officially 5 days later stripped her of one of her medals, not because she didn't win, not because she was drugged, not because she stepped out of bounds, not because she wasn't good enough, but because the judges failed to give her difficulty and forced an inquiry to be made. 4 seconds. Her bronze medal was stripped over 4 seconds of time that would have never needed to happen had the judges did their job. They had one job, y'all. They had one job. When is a top athlete ever persecuted because the judge is smoking? I love you, baby sis, and I got your back no matter what. Anyone see how the bronze medals are tarnished already? Gluten-free bread. It's cheaply made, possibly. Right? Yeah, I'm just like, really? But I mean, it was heart wrenching because I watched it in real time, and it was heart wrenching to watch the Romanian who was thought for sure she won. Um, she was already having her flag all around her, and they were like, "We forgot to score, darling," and gave it to Childs, and she was crying. So, okay, if Childs only had a minute to do an inquiry, then how long? Why did Romania get 7 days to do their inquiry and then lie and say that the Americans had only done it in a minute and 4 seconds? But you get 7 days to come back after you were like licking your wounds for 7 days in the Romanian camp, and they're going to entertain you 7 days later, but in real time, you only have a minute. None of this, look, does that make sense? Or am I making too much of this? Because it doesn't make sense to me. And I know I'm supposed to be in this world, but not of it, and not lean on to my own understanding. And this is exactly the damn reasons why. Because it doesn't make sense. So while you're in a competition, you have 1 minute, 60 seconds to correct something in the midst of all that chaos. But 7 days later, no, 5 days later, you can have an alternate inquiry that strips a lady of her medal, even though she didn't dope and she didn't cheat. Sounds a little plotted. Sounds like they're all working in cahoots over there. Cahootsville. Is that a place in Paris? Cahootsville? Anyway, let's see. Street sweepers going by with no water. Do the street sweepers have water in your neighborhood? Anybody remember being a little girl in Oakland, California with me? And the nights the street sweepers would go by, there would be signs where you couldn't park on that side of the street that night because the street sweepers would be coming by. And I loved the street sweeper. It was like a rain car to me. That's what I used to call it. It was like a rain truck. I'd be like, Mom, Dad, oh, look, there's the truck that makes it rain. There's the truck that makes it rain. Because it used to literally sweep and shoot water out of the thing at the same time. And then it had these big bristles on the back of the truck. The front of the truck would squirt the water, and the big bristles would be on the back of the truck, and it would shoot water and clean the street, and then the scrubbers would come and scrub the street too. But nowadays, they don't have any water in these street sweepers, you guys. But they still have they could have water in there. They could even use reclaimed rainwater, pond water, any kind of water. But you heard all that noise and commotion just now go past my window. Not a drop of water was coming out of that street sweeper machine. So it's just a sidebar and a digression. But in your state, do you have water in your street sweepers? I'm asking, I'm just interested. I'm wondering, is it because, California is always under threat of a drought, even though we just had record torrential atmospheric rivers for 2 years in a row, and all the lakes are to the capacity. Um, so I'm just wondering, is it a drought thing? Is it a cheap thing? I'm not sure. But here we are. The appeals court did that. And yeah, is that all I want to say about Jordan? Yeah, I'm just wondering. I don't think that it should be allowed to be able to be happening that way. Shouldn't happen that way. You don't get, if I only got 60 seconds, you definitely don't get 5 days. New rule. If I only get 60 seconds in real time within the competition, you by no means get 5 days to come up with some story about why you should win and this other girl who did better than you should lose. And then for the whole organization of the freaking Olympics to just be like, okay, let's go take it back. We haven't checked anything and we already made all these mistakes, but let's just go support Romania. They need it. Let's just go. Why would they? That's what we were saying, Mimi. That's exactly. I was saying if I was a freaking world-class athlete that made it to the Olympic stage, I wouldn't want shit that I didn't win legitimately. I wouldn't want it. Real sportsmen, I don't think they husband. You're a real sportsman. Did you guys know my husband tried out for the Olympics? And that's actually, he used track sperm in my second son because he has been trying out for the Olympics. And he placed third, but he would have needed to place first in his age range to be able to go over and be in the Olympics. And he was very, very good. Husband, as an Olympic competitor, would you have wanted the medal if you didn't win it legitimately? See? Not really. Because it shows your athleticism and like your prowess. Like, who wants some fake shit? It'll turn your neck green. Stay away from fake shit. Okay?
Yeah, they're not using real stuff in real metals in these things. It's already tarnished.
Look, husband said they're not even using real metal in the things. They're already tarnished. You don't need to tarnish them anymore. Exactly. Now it's going to be tainted. That's right. Metal works. Metals are made from metals. After all, go hubby. Right on. Yes. I'm just like, so that was that story. And then I had this is an awesome story. I really like this one. So Kennedy Blades, she was USA. Kennedy Blades got her day started with a massive suplex over Romania again. So it looks like Romania was like competition enough to be in the same sphere, but they were losing. Okay. Because this massive suplex that Kennedy did to Catalina advanced Blades, but Catalina left in a stretcher, y'all. Ooh. Look at this arc on her back. Now, in my great yoga days, I can do that back thing and the wheel, no problem. She is fully putting this girl in a massive suplex in the wheel position of yoga, you guys. That is the wheel of yoga. You know how much freaking strength it takes to do a wheel and not be scared you can't even she used that lady instead of her hands. Because when you do the wheel, like your hands are supposed to be behind you and then you push up through your core. She used that lady. Yeah. And this is what happened after. Yeah. Stretchers. Yeah. Yeah. And this is another angle. Look, but she feels bad. She's like, "Are you okay?" And then she couldn't get her arm. The lady was so folded on her. Do you see her trying to pull her arm from under that lady? Like, she was folded. My kids call that folded. Ooh. See, I wouldn't, yeah. I don't know. Do you recover from that? Like, I had tried to lift my son up the other day. I was like, "Oh, get on mommy's shoulders." And I was like, "Oh, I can hold you." Because he used to be so much small. I was thinking of him as my little guy. And I was like, "Oh, get on my shoulders." My neck hurt for 3 weeks. I'm doing 2 fingers. 3 weeks. My neck hurt all real bad up here from him being on my neck. So I can only imagine what Catalina went through. Bless her heart. But the USA got over on her on that one. And she competed in the final against Kyrgyzstan's, but I don't know who ended up winning. Milo, nobody. Milo, no, Milo. Come here. Come here, Milo. Milo, come. Click, click. Now you're just going to be nice. You just know. No, that dog's not worried about you. He's not worried about you. No, no. No, no, no. You be nice. That dog doesn't even care. I love it. He doesn't care, though. You let him be a dog and walk. He has 4 legs. He's walking. He's like, look, in front of my house is my space. And you guys come over here in my space. And his tail is wagging and everything. He kind of wants to play, I think. I don't really know. I don't really know if he wants to play. So now that we saw that, now we're going to look at the Aisha Curry thing and pull that up. First, before we get to the curry of it, what happened? Do, 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 do. I don't know if this is not available anymore, but McDonald's had a curry sauce in their McDonald's. And after Team USA beat the French team, the McDonald's in France stopped serving the curry sauce. And but now it's not opening. Darn. And it had said for obvious reasons, we are considering removing this sauce. And so I had that, and that was going to be a lead-in to what happened with Aisha Curry. Milo. Oh, Milo, just relax. Aisha Curry, French police. Here, I'm going to share it from here because that other one isn't coming up right now. So share it from myself to myself. And then it'll pop up over here. And we'll just come down to the bottom. Thanks for being here. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, ring the bell on the way in. Okay, let's keep it moving. We're following this link. So Steph Curry's wife, Aisha, appears to reject optional. Okay, so Steph Curry's wife, Aisha, appears to wipe away tears in tense confrontation with Paris police. So she was out there supporting her husband. And so let's see. So she was with her newborn son. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Caius, strapped to her chest. Aisha is seen speaking with police officers for 3 minutes alongside Sonia Curry and Draymond Green. Green 34 is also heard in the video asking police, so even after him hitting the baby in the head, there's still nothing you can do to get them out of here. It's unclear what Green is referring to, as there is no physical altercation captured on the video. The video begins with Sonia, 58, emotionally asking police officers to stop talking to her, as Aisha, who's holding the hand of another young one of her 4 children, and Green speak to other police officers calmly. So here she is with her baby on her chest. We're not allowing that. So she has a baby on her chest. She's looking extra excellent. Okay. Holding other hands in tow. Sonia then beckons to Aisha to join her as she attempts to push beyond the police in order to reach the group's vehicle. It's right there where all those people are on that side. We're all over there, Sonia tells the police. They won't let us go back over there where we came from. They won't let us, the driver, come here. They won't let us go back over there. Another man in the group who speaks French and serves as the translator between the police and the Curvies attempts to defuse the situation, telling Sonia nobody's allowed to cross the street now. Oh, really? As the camera pans out to the streetscape, police barricades can be seen in every direction. The translating man then relays to Sonia and Aisha that the police officers are very sorry for what has happened. They're always only sorry. That's all they can ever say is they're sorry. But they're not sorry, or else their actions would change eventually. But they were off the hook the entire time. Which only heightens Aisha's emotions as she's seen dabbing what appears to be tears. Aisha, Sonia, and Green had all sat on the sidelines during Stephen's first Olympic gold medal during France. Once the game ended, Stephen ran to celebrate, heartwarming moment shared on social media. See what they're talking about. Just beat it. Woo! Here he comes. Go give mama a kiss. Straight to the family. Sha'Carri Richardson did a lot of this too. Yeah. Yay. Yay. Oh, isn't that awesome? So that was an awesome moment. And I'm glad they had that awesome moment before this moment. Let's see if we can get the actual video of the. Where is the video of it? Let's see. Let me do this real quick. Aisha Curry, French police. Is there a video? TMZ be tripping. See if there's another video. Oh, look, Clutch Points has it. Let's see. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107. We're doing this for commenting and research on racism in freaking Paris Olympics.
Look, all they won't let us go back over there where we came from. They won't let the driver come here, and they won't let us go back over there. And then they told us we couldn't go back over there to come here and go here and there. Now they're stopping us.
Does anybody speak fluent French? Because I would love to know if they can tell us what they're hearing these police officers say.
Well, I was. And you don't do that. Let us get to our car. That's it.
So this is the situation. This is tense. Who hit the baby in the head? Who hit the baby in the head? Did the... We'll have to find out.
I'm not touching you. I'm just saying, just put it down. That's invasion of privacy, bro. Can you stop?
So it looks like they didn't really want to have that whole situation recorded, but it was because you're out in public during the freaking Olympics. Let's see, is there more? That looks like it. Let's see what Shannon Sharp had to say.
Hey, y'all, it's your favorite gold medal game victory. A video from the town. Traffic already terrible in Atlanta. Yeah. And anybody that lives in Atlanta or get it, huh? Yeah, I got to have it.
And there's certain things you gotta think twice about. Anything got to do with anything got to do with them kids, shoot. You damn they gotta move like King Von.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, Ocho, is that I'm surprised. I don't know if they didn't have security with them. Hell, you could have been if you were in Portugal. And move on. Quincy Wilson summed up his winning Olympic gold medal.
So yeah, even people are reacting. Oh, look, no, it does say in Vibe. Look. Aisha Curry's newborn allegedly hit in head by Paris police while attempting to leave. Wait, so they're hitting babies in the head in Paris? Really? Really? Really, Paris? And then he was sorry. Okay. So, according to the video posted on X by Sonia Corey, has been scolding an officer for touching the baby and demanding to let her get to the vehicle. The authorities can be heard explaining that no one could go to the area of the president at the time and apologizing for the holdup. It's right there, side, the police. See if this takes us to the next, because there was another part where she tries to go. That was too big. So here's some more.
Touch a baby.
Does anybody know what they're saying? Like, why are they all standing around this woman with her 2 minor children? Look how many men are around this woman. Just like, what are they? And they already accosted her baby. This must feel like a horrible situation. So the police everywhere in the world are exactly the same, protecting some, serving the rest.
Stop saying my damn. How about help us? How about help us? How about that? We're going here.
No, now, please.
It's right there where all those people are on that side. We were over there. Look, all won't let us go back over there where we came from. They won't let the driver come here, and they won't let us go back over there. And then they told us we couldn't go back over there to come here and go here and there. Now they're stopping us. Well, I was. And you don't. Let us get to our car. That's it.
You can hear him saying he apologizes. What can he do? And she's like, let us get to our car. Get us out of here.
I've been trying to walk.
So even after him hitting the baby in the head, there's still nothing y'all can really get about it. I'm not touching you. I'm just saying, just put it down. That's invasion of privacy, bro.
Can you move, please? No.
Can you stop?
So, oh, look, there's no racism whatsoever. The policemen were polite and respectful. So they hit a baby in the head, accost her mother and her grandmother, stop them from going where they just came from, and there's no racism whatsoever. Don't you love it when racists investigate themselves and find no racism whatsoever? Okay, so that was another thing that I wanted to show us. And then we're going to, since we're on racism at the Olympics, did you know that Noah Lyles was, let me see, where'd it go? Noah Lyles, where you are? Because his mom was very upset. Here we are. So Noah Lyles' mother was very upset. Track star Noah Lyles' mother blasts France's Olympic security team, says they ignored her request for immediate medical attention while her son struggled to breathe. Probably no racism here after they finish doing this too. Let's look at what the mother says. So Keisha Kane Bishop posted, "This was one of the scariest moments of my life, watching my son hold his chest, gasping for air, while the stadium security refused to call a doctor as I begged them to send help. They also refused to do anything to help. They totally ignored me. No parent should ever have to experience this feeling of helplessness. However, I want to thank NBC Olympics team for helping me during this moment. Thank you for seeing me and my son as human beings and not just another story. Words cannot express my gratitude for your empathy, professionalism, and kindness. Also thank the US ATF staff who let me cry on their shoulders. And to the security team, I pray your loved ones ever need help, they get it treated better than they treated us. And I also thank God that he is getting better." So Noah Lyles, you may or may not have known, when he won the race the other day, he ended up testing positive for the vid, and he medaled and then had to be taken off the track in a freaking wheelchair. But luckily, he's an athlete, so he was partying within 48 hours after he tested negative. But yeah, it was serious. He had to be taken off the freaking track in a wheelchair after winning the bronze because he couldn't breathe and he was so affected by the vid, you guys. So that was some more. Oh, and then another little thing right here. So when the Olympics first happened, France was being racist and xenophobic and was not allowing hijabs to be worn by visiting athletes. Now, anybody who knows what a hijab is, that's like part of your culture. Like you know how Jewish people get to wear the little thingamabob right here? They wear a thingamabob here. Well, Muslim people wear a hijab on women specifically, and it has a head covering. And like my hair couldn't be out if I was a practicing Muslim. I would have to have on a hijab and have that over my head the same way that Jewish people have that thing on their head. They get to wear it everywhere. I ain't never seen a Jewish person have to take it off. I've never seen it. However, they be asking Muslims to take those off all the time, y'all. So if it's good enough for your religion to let you wear yours all the time, then why isn't it good enough to leave other people's religion the F alone when they want to wear what they wear on their head? Well, leave it to good old racism in the Olympics in Paris that they had tried to make a rule that you couldn't wear the hijab. So the Dutch marathon runner Sifan Hassan collected her final gold medal of the Paris Olympics while wearing a hijab. France had banned their athletes from wearing hijab during the games. The country's sports minister said it was under the country's principles of secularism. The ruling was criticized by the UN Human Rights Office, and the International Olympic Committee subsequently confirmed that hijabs were allowed inside the athletes' village. It's unclear whether Hassan wore her hijab in reaction to France's rules. Is it in reaction to, or is it because it's part of your culture and that's what you would have usually worn? Or is it reacting? I don't know. Of course, they're going to make it word like that. The 31-year-old won the women's marathon in the sprint fashion on the final day and claimed bronze in the women's 5,000 and 10,000. So let's take a look. She chose to wear it on the podium at a tournament where the host nation bans its own athletes from wearing it. And there she is on the podium. Oh, so happy. Shout out to excellence. And shout out to standing by your morals and your freaking virtues and standing up for what's right. Yep, got to stand up for what's right. That's amazing. And that's a gold medal position. Actually, I thought I read bronze, but that's a gold medal position to be in the middle like that. So good for her. Good for her. Don't be racist, okay? Don't be xenophobic. Don't be racist. All right. Speaking of don't be racist, before we do our ballot check and get out of here, let me see. Ballot check. Was that all the yeah, I think that's all the Olympic stuff I wanted to go over. Okay. Oh, just this one last Olympic thing. I thought this was excellent. Let's get that on here.
Start with the easy one. In 2021, what would I tell myself? Girl, get in that therapist's office immediately. Let's get this together. On a serious note, though, I think I was a person that was kind of inconsistent. As far as I would go to therapy for a second and then be like, I'm cured. And then that's not how things work. And the progress, in my opinion, comes from continuing when you're not in crisis anymore. So I think the biggest difference from 2021 to now was just a real overall commitment to the work in every aspect of my life. On the track, of course, in the weight room, as far as my diet goes, but also just committing to the work on myself off the track. How do I become a better person? How do I become a person that is better equipped to handle the emotional highs and lows of training and of competing? Start with the easy one. In 2021, what would I
Shout out to Mental Health Check from Cockrell. She is a runner, I believe, on the track team. And I thought this was a beautiful message about mental health. So let's listen one more time how this top-notch athlete approaches mental health.
myself, girl, get in that therapist's office immediately. Let's get this together. On a serious note, though, I think I was a person that was kind of inconsistent. As far as I would go to therapy for a second and then be like, I'm cured. And then that's not how things work. And the progress, in my opinion, comes from continuing when you're not in crisis anymore. So I think the biggest difference from 2021 to now was just a real overall commitment to the work in every aspect of my life. On the track, of course, in the weight room, as far as my diet goes, but also just committing to the work on myself off the track. How do I become a better person? How do I become a person that is better equipped to handle the emotional highs and lows of training and of competing?
Head on. So let's come out of there. So that's a good place to end it for our Olympic stuff, because even after all of that, look, check in on your mental health, do what it takes, be consistent on those things that are going to make you a better person. I like that. I like that. So now we're going to come over here to the ballot check, y'all. Ballot check time. Oh, sorry. Now, Biden, Bidey dropped out, and he finally has given us a reason.
Home, Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, late July with your family, and you make this historic decision. Tell me the story.
Look, the polls we had showed that it was a neck and neck race, would have been down the wire. But what happened was a number of my Democratic colleagues in the House and Senate thought that I was going to hurt them in the races. And I was concerned if I stayed in the race, that would be the topic. You'd be interviewing me about why did Nancy Pelosi say, why did so? And I thought it'd be a real distraction, number one. Number two, when I ran the first time, I thought of myself as being a transition president. I can't even say how old I am. It's hard for me to get out of my mouth. And, but things got moving so quickly, it didn't happen. And the combination was that I thought it was a critical issue for me, still is not a joke, maintaining this democracy. But I thought it was important because although it's a great honor being president, I think I have an obligation to the country to do the most important thing we can do, and that is we must defeat Trump.
I saw those images.
So
you're at your home, Rehoboth Beach, Delaware.
Yeah, of course the people called him and was like, Joe, that debate sucked. Were you awake? You should have taken some no-dos, bro. Could they have gotten you an invisible walker to go out on the stage on instead of everybody seeing your walker with green tennis balls on the front, the way you shuffled out there, Joe? Can you have taken these? I don't know, Joe. And then that mumble rapping that he was trying to do when he was answering the questions. That debate that he finally did with Trump is the reason that everybody was like, yeah, we can't put you up against somebody else who's talking, bro. Yeah, it's past your nappy time. Any time of day is past your nappy time at this time. And we're going to need you to step down, Joe. And then for him to say he saw himself as a transitional president, I'm like, fool, you don't remember nothing anymore? You said you would be a transitional president. You promised us because of your age, you would be a transitional one-term president. And he should actually have included an apology for wasting America's time, not letting other ideals get in front of the fire that they see coming, that is Trump. He should have apologized in this first interview while you're talking about why you lied to people and said that you would be a transitional, and now you're trying to joke it away because you can't even remember how old you are. Fool. That's not an apology. That's not accountability. And there's no way to make it right, really, except for to force us to vote for this other person who's only going to be a continuation of your policies. So we got to do a ballot check now, because I did report 2 weeks ago that there were 7 other people running for president. 7 at that time. But things change quickly as we get nearer and nearer to November 5th. If voting is what you do in these elections, then go ahead and make sure that you're registered ahead of time to vote. If you do kind of absentee voting, then that's really a chance for you to get the information and really go over it and do your research and stuff. But yeah, just showing up at the polls and like taking a chance. I like to usually do my research and see, should I vote yes? Not just because that union said vote yes, but what's also inside of this bill that I'm signing yes for. Like they'll be like, oh, if you vote yes for this, then there's going to be a lunch in every school. And then the fine print is, and more law enforcement will be there too. Like it's like always some bullshit inside of a law or a new bill that's about to be passed that you think is for one thing and they piggyback something. I think we should have clean single bills, actually, where you're addressing one thing at a time instead of putting TikTok in with the money that you're about to ship over to the Ukraine. Like, that's crazy. I don't know. So let's see. So that was Bitey Bye. Also have we're also going to take a look at what American people are feeling as what they want addressed. And is it me?
Somebody who knows how much a gallon of lactose milk costs. Thank you. I want somebody who knows what it costs for an average family to have to drive to and from work every day and care for their kids in daycare. You have to drive yourself. I want somebody who understands what inflation means, what an interest rate, the difference between 1% and an interest rate can mean for a family of 4.
And we're not hating on those that are wealthy, because I'm wealthy. I just ain't got it in my account yet.
Well, from
just want to know, right?
But from the bottom, you can see a view that people from the top don't see no more. Right. And it's easy to ignore those who are less than or who have less than in the moment and not see the struggles of your nation when those people are the majority. Yeah. A majority of us are budgeting to pay our electric bill. A majority of us are budgeting. And then some people are even budgeting just to be able to afford medication. Yeah. I would love to have a candidate in office that understands what a paycheck means to 99.9% of this population.
Yes or no? Will you guys be voting?
Oh, hell yeah.
Are you comfortable saying with all of that information you said, who will you be voting for?
I'm voting for, but I will be voting. Yes. Oh, absolutely. My people fought for us to vote. I don't, whether, because you hear family members saying, well, it won't count. You know, it doesn't matter. It does matter.
I just had one young lady say that it doesn't matter.
It absolutely matters. Yeah.
So those are some of the concerns of Americans, and I'm with her. Me and my mom were talking about this just this weekend, that Kamala is always talking about the middle class, the middle class, the middle class. And my mom was like, well, what about poor people? What about what's below the middle class? They don't need, that's like just a whole forgotten constituency base. Like, and what is middle class in America right now? What does it take to be middle class in America?
According to the OECD, the middle class refers to households with income between 75% and 200% of the median national income. This answer is from...
What is the current median national income?
I found this on the web.
So let's see. As of 2023, the median national income is about $76,000 threshold. I think it's about 85,000 right now. Okay. So what about the people that are making less than $85,000 a year? What about the people that, because people on services still vote. If you receive GA, if you receive food stamps, if you receive Section 8 housing, tax credit housing, any types of affordable housing programs, those people are in parameters well below the threshold that I just mentioned, because they actually have to be very low and low income thresholds. So that's like 24,000, 30,000. And now you have this middle class that starts at about 85,000. So what about everybody else who makes under $85,000? What are your plans for them? Because the only thing the people are talking about is middle class makes America, middle class drives America, middle class this, middle class that. And if you're everybody's president, then why don't you even speak about the other people who you'll be representing? I don't know why you wouldn't. You don't think the poor people want a shout out too? You don't think that Becky on Section 8 wants a shout out for her vote? You don't think so? I think that she would. I think so. Let's see. Bianca just got here. What's good, Bianca? Quebec is like that too. Nobody is allowed to wear any religious clothes or jewelry if they work for the government. No crosses, turbans, Star of David. Wow. Is that really Biden? He looks and sounds different, but maybe he got an injection of the chrome, right? I mean, I'm not sure which clone they're using and if they in fact gave him adrenochrome to make him have some energy that day. I'm not sure about pizzas or gates or nothing. I don't know. All I know is that, there was this picture floating around of him chilling on a beach. And I was like, is this weekend at Bernie's? Somebody needs to shake him and make sure like he's okay, because it was looking very weekend at Bernie's. I think he crouched down like a toddler, crapped his pants on stage. It was over for him, right? It was over. Happy Monday, everybody. Let's see. So yeah, I think that we actually need to have what we want heard. What the lady just said, how much is milk? How much is this? How much is that? And I played earlier this weekend when somebody asked Kamala about the inflation. She was like, oh yeah, prices are high. She didn't say nothing about getting them low or what she could see as far as an economic bill of rights for America, which Marianne Williamson had. And she just acknowledges the problem. And then she's like, we're going to keep your diabetes drugs down. Hey, look, nobody in my family needs that. What we need is for these prices to not be so high. She did mention, though, that she used to go after people who did price fixing, and that as president, she's gonna look at it or something. And how all these prices are just fixed high across the board, and that she was gonna look at it. I don't trust her. I don't trust her. We already went over all the reasons why I don't trust her.
Who knows how much a gallon of lactose milk costs?
Thank you.
Yeah. I want somebody.
So, but let's look at this. The presidential candidates. Let's do this ballot check. Follow. So as of today, August 6th, this is when they were uploading this. They updated this. But we're going to just come down here to the current nominees. Okay, so we went over Chase Oliver for the Libertarian Party. We went over his platform. We didn't go over Trump so much, the Agenda 47, Project 2025. Kamala, what are her policies for us to even go over? She says a lot, but what are her policies that she's going to stick to? Because also what we pointed out is that old Cammy Cam will flip flop like Dr. Pancakes on Married to Medicine. She may as well be President Pancakes, the way she flip flops. And she's for fracking, she's not for fracking. She's for this and she's not for this. All in the same month. She'll be for something and then against it. She was for defunding the police, but she was a top cop. And now she's back to not wanting to defund the police. Like everything she says, it feels like she says just so she can get in the room and get some airtime, but she doesn't really believe in anything she's saying. So Robert Kennedy, he was supposed to be a Democrat. He didn't see a way into the Democratic ticket. So he flipped the script and went to independent. Now these are the following noteworthy candidates who have filed to run for president with the Federal Election Commission. And then here is the full list of who actually was registered for 2024. And you guys didn't even know this, did you? Candidates who filed for the presidential election for 2024. Aaron Alvaros, Libertarian Party. Aaron Day, Republican Party. Aaron Grata, nonpartisan. Aaron He, Democrat. Aaron Taylor, nonpartisan. Abigail Gonzalez, Constitutional Party. Abelo Soares, nonpartisan. Abraham Caracas, he was an independent. AC Tulum, nonpartisan. Adam Lewis, nonpartisan. Adam Colton, independent. Adam Diver, independent. Adam Hafal, independent. Adam Hennessy, Adam Holyock. Okay. Those were all some of the names that filed. This was updated July 29th, 2024. But as an American, we didn't even hear these people because you would have to follow the money in order to really get to be here. Look at all these people who had ideals on how to move the country forward that we didn't even get to hear from because money drives American. Look at them. I can't even read them all. All of these people, though, took their time and energy and completed an application to get on to get on different tickets, whether it's independent, nonpartisan, Republican, Green, whatever, Libertarian. Look at all these people. American Independent, Independent America, ACE Party. I don't know what that is. Look at all these people. Look. But it takes money to end up on the final tickets. It's all bought and paid for. And unless your candidate has all these phone calls raising buttloads of money, or unless your candidate has George Soros funding your freaking Senate run, I don't know how much of her presidential run George Soros will be funding, but she actually got George Soros a nice little deal when she was the American AG. When she was the AG for San Francisco. Kamala Harris worked with Soros. So let's see if we can find that real quick. Because everybody's like, George Soros. Soros, Harris. George Soros and Alex Soros back Kamala Harris. Oh, look at that. We can find it real quick. But but we can't see everything. Okay, so the father-son pair who are responsible for tens of millions of dollars in spending each election cycle both threw their weight behind Kamala Harris. Now, did you know that there's a history? Let's see. The mega donor, George Soros, and his millennial son. That was in 2008. What happened? Let's see. Okay. Okay, Soros' financial crisis stems from super bubble. Hedge fund billionaires George Soros is backing her. Anyway, if you guys do a little research, you'll see that while Kamala Harris, we did a dive on it, was AG, she actually did some things that helped George Soros. And then she was all, after that happened, then he helped her get the Senate seat. So it sounds like some back scratching could be going on, allegedly. That's what they always say, follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. So I guess we would, if you're going to be voting for her, you might want to see what George Soros believes in, because she's going to owe people something from taking all this money to get into the office, because you saw the list of people that didn't even get in because they don't have enough money. Look at all these people. Look, it's still going. There's like 20 of each letter of the alphabet was trying to get in to move this country in a direction. Okay, that's amazing. Shout out to putting their hat in the ring. So let's go back over here real quick, and let me go back here. And I was going to give you the current list. So list of noteworthy. So that's how they're deciphering things now and what they let us know and not know. So noteworthy candidates is Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, Chase Oliver, and Robert Kennedy. Other candidates, Jill Stein, Randall Terry, and Cornel West. Withdrawn candidates, damn, Joe Biden, Dean Phillips, Mary Ann Williamson withdrew from the race, but she didn't meet the July 30th deadline to qualify for the Democratic virtual roll call. Actually, she did get the thing in, but they didn't let her in to the thing. Let me see what's going on. I think I have a meeting. Awesome. So Ryan Blinky, Doug Berman, Chris Christie, Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Asa Hutchinson, Larry Elder, Will Hurd, Perry Johnson, Mike Pence, Vivek, Tim, Corey, and Francis. So I want you to notice on the list of those last names, though, those were all people that most of these Republicans were at least allowed to be heard. And then they selected Donald Trump. I want you to remember that for the Democrats, no Democrats other than Joe and Kamala have been heard. I want you to just remember that. Seems like it's too late now for you guys to hear Marianne. Look, I don't know if she's going to still be on tickets, because I know she did make it to ballots in certain states. And so I don't know if her name will be anywhere if she missed this deadline that they're talking about, the virtual Democratic roll call. And then we're going to get into why she said she decided to not move forward. But This is what they're forcing down our throat. These choices. But there are still at least 3 other ones. So there's still 7 people running for president. I didn't know about Randall Terry when I did my other thing. I didn't even know about this constitutional party. He's anti-abortion activist, and he was nominated as a constitutional party. Okay, so in our ballot check, let's just go over here to Marianne. Let's go. Marianne, bless her heart. So I did notice that she stopped posting all her political stuff. And I was like, are you shadow banned again? But then I saw this. Saturday was the deadline for filing as a Democratic running for the nomination of president. We did everything possible to stand for a blitz primary and an open convention. Yet the way the rules were made, and there was truly no way. Kamala's momentum was in full swing. And can I make this bigger? Kamala's momentum was in full swing, and all we could do now is create noise. I was in the race to create fundamental change, yes, but not as a chaos agent. Because the devil is the author of chaos and confusion. That's the devil. She's not very devilly at all. Things being what they are, including the fact that defeating Donald Trump has always been and continues to be the goal that matters most. It was time to let go. To those of you who supported my campaign as voters, volunteers, and donors, I salute you and thank you. You're welcome, Marianne. For years, I've been intrigued by Gandhi's message that politics should be sacred, and I saw things that convinced me it could be that way. People entering the political conversation not only with their heads but with their hearts, not with anger but with love, willing to look beyond artificial divides, honoring the truths of our history, bringing the fullness of themselves to the process, and harnessing all those things for political purposes. I saw it, I felt it, I know it's possible. For many reasons, I was not able to achieve that. What matters now to me most is not what we didn't achieve, but what we did achieve. And we achieved a lot. There were moments too numerous for me to count where I know without a shadow of a doubt that we shed light in the darkness of confused minds, inspired people and hope in the spirit of hopelessness, and motivated people to get involved and stay involved until justice shall be done. For myself, I believe our most urgent task now is to make sure Donald Trump doesn't return to the White House. That conviction is what will determine my vote on Election Day. That which brings like-minded people together in service to a more beautiful world is a significant bond of affection. For the honor shown me by my supporters this last year, my gratitude is as deep as the sea. And she did this 1 week ago. So she's out of it, you guys, and it really makes my stomach hurt thinking that we don't even get to hear her ideals and that she didn't get to banter with Kamala and that we didn't force Kamala to stand for anything. We're not forcing her to stand for anything at this point, and it's kind of interesting. But democracy carries on, or a form of it, right? So let's see. Is that all? Secret Service. Oh, and just one more thing. The Secret Service. Let's go back to the messages and we'll end on this. So the Secret Service, when Kamala came to, I believe, we're going to watch this. They had to do a sweep. And they did a sweep and they told business owners and I guess people that they would and wouldn't be doing things, and they lied. So look at this. What's happening? This is the Secret Service doing this at a business in Atlanta, blacking out their security cameras so they can't see that they were abusing their authority. Crazy. They're letting the hours stamp show how long they left this woman's cameras blacked out at her store so they could go in there and use it as a makeshift headquarters without her permission after they told her they would not be entering her business. Another hour has gone by. Look at the time. It says that it's 2:03 p.m. That's what's been moving so far, is the hours right here, while the camera remains blacked out. And it's weird. 4:48 p.m. now. They blacked her camera out at 9 o'clock in the morning, y'all. And then at 5:04, oh no, it wasn't 9:30. It was 10:29 a.m. The Secret Service came to this establishment. Wait, what? A Massachusetts salon owner claims the Secret Service allegedly used her salon's bathroom without permission while preparing for a Kamala Harris rally. The owner says an agent taped her cameras to hide their unauthorized use. That's what just happened, you guys, in that video you saw. Now the story is, so it wasn't Atlanta, it was Massachusetts, correction. So the Secret Service, after they used her salon without permission while they were preparing for a Kamala Harris rally. So if this is even before she president, y'all, her cops are running amok again. We went over the evidence that while she was top cop here in San Francisco, she allowed the other cops to frame innocent Black men, and then she would go to court and hit him with the 1-2 and seal the case so the innocent man could be in jail for 7 years. He got awarded $13.1 million from the cover-up and the years that he got taken in jail. And that was then. And now these are just Secret Service people who are working with her on her behalf doing this stuff. Like, she needs to address this. Like, this is crazy. So according to Business Insider, Alicia Powers, the owner of 413 salon, claims she originally closed her salon because the secret police were doing a sweep of the area to prepare for an upcoming rally. Powers claims it was very overwhelming to have the Secret Service agents coming in and out, so they decided to close for that Saturday. Powers claims that on July 27th, one of the Secret Service agents taped her camera so that they could hide themselves using her salon. In the video, the agent can be seen looking at the camera with the roll of tape in her hand. Then she leaves, but returned to come tape the camera. For the next few hours, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., I'm not sure how that's a few, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 7 hours that this woman had her salon like that. 7 hours they did this. For the next 7 hours, the Ring camera captured the sound of people going in and out of her salon. Powers told Business Insider that the Secret Service claimed they wouldn't use the salon, but they did the complete opposite. There were several people in and out for about an hour and a half just using my bathroom. And you could hear that was her alarm to her business going off in the background, you guys. We're going to listen again. Using her counter with no permission. No permission. Is this what it's going to be like? They're just going to come in our house? They're just going to come in our businesses? They're just going to come all the places where they have no permission and no authority to be and just use our shit? Really? Is this what we were getting ready to get? But they scared of 45. Okay. With no permission. And then when they were done using the bathroom for 2 hours, they left her building completely unlocked and did not take the tape off the camera. Whoever was visiting, whether it was a celebrity or not, I probably would have opened the door and made them coffee and brought donuts to make a great afternoon. But they didn't even have the audacity to ask for permission. They just helped themselves. The Secret Service has since apologized. Oh, again with the I'm sorry. I'm sorry's don't help shit on accountability. Why could this even happen? Unless you're in a freaking police martial law world where they can just come in your shit, break in. They broke in. Her alarm is going off. They broke in the woman's business to spread their booty germs all over their place, and then left her business unsecured with her security camera covered for what? Did they call cousins in the area to come break in and take stuff from the salon? Did they leave with the latest ceramic flat irons? This is bizarre, you guys. But the world we live in, the Secret Service can just apologize. And the U.S. Secret Service works closely with our partners in the business community to carry out our protective and investigative missions. The spokesperson, Melissa McKenzie, wrote in the email to Business Insiders. The Secret Service has since communicated with the affected owner. Oh, you think after they showed the tape of what you guys did illegally breaking into the thing? Let's listen to this again. Because I was like, is that her alarm going off? Salon front porch. That's what this says. Salon front porch. It's a nice little porch. The time, 8:29 a.m. And look at this criminal breaking in to this place. Because nobody's above the law. And I don't care if you breaking and entering, you didn't have permission to be in there. That's breaking and entering. The lady's alarm is about to be heard going off from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. because the Secret Service broke in this woman's salon and used it for their own personal use. And then left her business exposed. Look. So she came at 10 and looked at the camera. And now at 12, she's finally taping the camera. So 2 hours later, She must have decided this was going to be the nicest bathroom to use. And now we're going to listen. You're going to hear the beeping start because they broke in this woman's place. $12:42. That's the alarm going off, you guys. They broke in this woman's business after they covered her Ring camera. The alarm is going off from 12:47 when she covers the camera. They're going to lapse this time for us. So they're showing us 12 o'clock. Then they're going to show us 1 o'clock. You hear that alarm? An hour later, the alarm is still going off. $2 the alarm is still going off. Her business is open because they opened it. It's not secured, and they've covered the alarm, the security camera. So if somebody was coming in and out, and then look, at 5 o'clock, somebody finally came and took the freaking tape off the camera and closed the doors. And it looked like that was probably the owner. That's weird. I love Marianne Williamson. I like the woman you were talking about that wrote the Nelson Mandela speech. Nope, that's what I was saying. So Marianne Williamson did not make the deadline. They made it really hard for her to get even to talk to Kamala at the open convention. And they decided they want it closed. So they did not let Marianne's process complete and made it rules that stop democracy. Yeah, Marianne Williamson. That's the one I like too. Yep. But that's crazy, right? That the Secret Service would freaking break in. So she cased the joint. The Secret Service agent cased the joint from 10 a.m., from 10:30 a.m. to 12:40 a.m. when she decided to finally break in the thing. Now, if this was just some regular person standing outside of business, that would be called casing the joint. And then once they get in the business that they didn't have a key to, that would be called breaking and entering. And nobody's above the law. So I think that's what it's still called over here. That's what I think. I don't know. It's crazy, crazy. But yeah, so that was all the stuff and then I have one other thing. I don't know if I want to play him, but this is the Secret Service. And let me see. Did I even send it? The Ohio governor was saying there's going to be a civil war if Trump doesn't win. And yeah, I don't think I want to play that. But I feel sorry for the people in Ohio that aren't like him. And he's like, oh, I'm so glad there's going to be a civil war. So glad. Okay, since I can't find that, and I love helping the people. I keep trying to tell people about these awesome ways to get their families set up for the future. And nobody listens to me. So I thought you guys might want to hear from Candy Burris, who I don't usually listen to either. But
there are so
many
different ways that you can secure your wealth and build your wealth for generations. Life insurance specifically. There are different things I have to say about life insurance policies. They told me about, okay, it's not only just in case something happens to you during birth, it's an investment policy. So investment life insurance policy, so you can invest into it. So as you get older, you need to retire. You can pull out tax-free later on in life. So that was important to me because, obviously in the entertainment industry, sometimes, we making a lot of money when we're young, but then later on in life, you ain't popping like you used to, and the money ain't coming in the same. So you got to figure out like, okay, well, what I'm going to do when I get older, because everybody is not, everybody didn't set up their 401k or whatever they were setting up, when they had their regular jobs. You don't have a regular job, you may not be thinking the same. They asked me all these questions like, okay, well, when do you think you're going to retire? At that time, I thought, I want to retire.
So this is exactly what I do. The questions that she's asking, that she's mentioning here, are part of what I offer, which is a complimentary financial needs assessment, where we not only discuss what age you want to retire, what are your goals and dreams, like where's your debt, where do you want your debt, like all of these things. And we're able to strategically structure universal index life accounts so that you can have these things in a tax-free way if you structure it right. So I'm always willing to help you. So if what you're hearing from her sounds great, DM me and I will be too willing to have a complimentary F&A with you where we can get you into one of these.
Very funny. They was like, okay, and what do you think? How much money do you think you'll need a year? I was like, I think I'll need like $250,000 a year. That would be good. And they was like, okay. So they told me how much money I need to put in it a year to be able to take out $250,000 a year, starting at 40 until I would be 99. $250,000 tax free until I turn like 99 years old. Now, mind you.
So this is true. You can structure your policies. And the only reason that it's attached to life insurance, everybody's like, oh, you're trying to sell me life insurance. Actually, I'm trying to sell you the code of life insurance so that you can have the tax-free benefits of the code that's only provided in a life insurance account. So that's why it's tied to life insurance, you guys. Otherwise, it would just be a CD or some other type of account. But because it's specifically tied to the tax code for life insurance, that's how you get to the tax-free part of it. Because you know that your life insurance policy, when you pass it down to your beneficiaries, that goes through tax-free. So like if you have $1 million life insurance policy and you die, then your family will get $1 million tax-free. And that's how you can create generational wealth, because if your family's always getting taxed on everything, then it's going to be really hard to fight that inflation dollar, right? So that's an awesome benefit of these types of accounts. But continue to listen to somebody that's not me, because
that money would be protected. So it's like, so say for instance, let's say you come into, or let's say you balling, okay, and you get this life insurance policy or whatever, and let's say somebody sues you. We'll use OJ Simpson. Everybody knows OJ Simpson got sued or whatever, and they want all this money from him. But somehow he's still able to live, and he's maintained, because from what I was told, most of his money was in life insurance or whatever.
Very true. So when you put your money into life insurance and somebody sues you, they can't touch your life insurance policy, even if it's a cash accumulation life insurance policy. They're not getting their hands on it. And so if you have set up your own family bank where you're not keeping your money in Wells Fargo, you're keeping your money in your life insurance policy, which is your family bank, like how the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers all did their stuff in family banks outside of the institution, the financial institution. When you get sued, they can go to the financial institution and be like, run me that person's money. When you have a family bank, that's a life insurance policy. And if you get sued, they can't go, the life insurance company will not give them shit. Never, ever. It's one of the most ironclad ways to grow and protect your money because it's impenetrable. Okay. And a lot of people were asking the question, well, why does OJ still have all this? Index universal life insurance products, index life insurance products. They used to have different types of life insurance products way back when he was doing it. Now, because I'm working with the new hybrid ones. But even those that he had, the structure and the ideals were the same, where that is an ironclad accumulation, distribution, and protection vehicle for your money.
And so you can't take money from somebody's life insurance policy. So he's able to still live off the money that he's able to pull out of his life insurance every year. So,
and then not only did OJ get to use that money to live, and the Goldmans couldn't get none of it. Nobody's Nicole Simpson's people couldn't get their fingers on it. Nobody can get it unless he listed you as a beneficiary. So when OJ died recently, the money that he got to live off of in Florida after he left Vegas, and he was living in Florida, playing golf all the time, not stressing, that was because he had these types of insurance policies. And then when he died, whoever he had listed as beneficiary got whatever was left in his insurance policy that was benefited to them, and they got that tax-free too. So life insurance isn't only for while you're dead and for your beneficiaries to benefit. This new hybrid life insurance is designed specifically to have you profit from your investments while you're alive, and your beneficiaries still get something when you die. Isn't that excellent? You guys need to DM me. I can tell you all about this and so much more. So many different places to put your money that aren't the 401k, because your guys' 401k is tied to the stock market that just fell 1,000 points. So if you have a 401k, I would love for you to go look at the balance, what it was a month ago, and look at the balance, what it is today. And if you have the way that it's structured where it's tied directly to the stock market, you took a huge loss. And there are places that you can roll your money over to where you won't have those types of major losses anymore, but you will have those types of major gains. Let's keep listening though, because she's not me.
even though he's living, he's still able to pull that money out. I guess
that's a bar right there. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a major gem.
For people who are making money, it's a good idea or a good tool for you to look at, because obviously when you make money, people are always trying to sue you, trying to get you. And there you need to figure out ways to protect your money. So that's one way to look at it.
Okay. So yeah. And even when you don't make money, people are always trying to get you. So if you want to put your money someplace, like we set up and structure policies so that the let's say you want to save like $8,000 a year, you know, $500 a paycheck, $300 a paycheck, instead of putting it into your 401k, which you'll get taxed on and have fees to access later, you could put that same $300 into an index universal life account, and it would grow even faster than in a 401k. Plus, you can access it before you're 59. During the pandemic, I had so many friends that were having to go access their 401ks and getting taxed heavily and penalized greatly. I had this one friend, she asked for $20,000. By the time the taxes and the fees and everything happened, my girl got about between $12,000 and $14,000. She asked for 20, and because of the fees and taxes, she only got 14 tops. That was like $6,000 of her money they kept from her because she needed it before she was 59 and a half, you guys. Okay. So, and you can do that right now. There's awesome incentives where if you do have a rollover account right now, or 401k, 403b, TSP accounts, those types of things, then you can roll them over before you're 59 and a half there will be a fee, but right now the places that you roll them into fixed indexed annuities, those people will give you, like, they'll practically match what you had to pay. So like, let's say you get charged 10% to fee to move your money, penalty for early withdrawal. Then what's going to happen is the new place will give you like 10% annually to make up for what you had lost on the front end. Now, granted, what they give you, you can't get until whatever time you structure it, but it's still growing in your portfolio. Okay. And that portfolio, like I said, you have access to without penalty before age 59 and a half. So let's say there is another demic and you do need to get to your money so that you can live and maintain your lifestyle or travel or whatever it is you feel like doing. You'll be able to access those monies if you have it in an annuity, if you have it in an index life, then if you have it in how they have the other Roth IRAs set up, there aren't penalties for that. So it's just really good information to have. And I was so glad to find Candy, who everybody loves her prowess. Now, these are also the same types of products that Dr. Heavenly is always talking about, and definitely what I'm always talking about. You can never have too much life insurance, by the way. Life insurance it's called life insurance, but it has living benefits while you're alive. They have long-term care benefits if you got sick and needed long-term care. They're having all these types of insurances so that you can have the type of life you want. Now you have your phone insured, you have your computer insured, you have your house insured, you have renter's insurance, you have car insurance, you have all these other insurances. And then I'm talking to people and I'm like, well, do you have insurance for you? Well, I like tangible things. I like to be able to see what I spend my money on. I'm like, well, don't send me no GoFundMe when you pass. I don't need to get a GoFundMe from your kids because you only wanted to pay insurance on intangible things, right? So yeah. But GoFundMes usually happen because the person didn't even have burial insurance, enough to cover the burial. But plus living expenses, if you're the main breadwinner, then do you really want like those people to not have your money while you're gone? Like, you need some type of insurance to cover at least a little bit of it, get a nice little term policy, then you're only paying while you pay. You don't lose nothing if you end up not being able to pay one day, but you were covered while you were paying. You can get a traditional life insurance policy, whole life. Those only grow about 4%. And they're okay, but they only grow about 4%, which you can probably get in a CD. And then they have these other types of accounts. So that was just a note. I want everybody to know about the stuff. Oh, you DM'd me a few months back and didn't hear from me. Miss Kiki, I never got a thing. Oh, wait. See, look, here's the dry. Doesn't it sound like some water should be coming out of that? Not one drop of water coming out of my street sweeper. I'm looking in here right now, Kiki, because I was looking for a DM from you. And maybe you came up as a different name. Because I'm in here right now. In here. In my messages. Can I do a search for Kiki? Kiki. So you DM me on Instagram? Here, I'll put my thing in here right now. This is my personal email for what I do because I say DM me, and I'm looking in here right now, and I just did a search for Kiki, and nothing comes up except for Christian Keys. Yeah, I don't have anything in here from you. I'm sorry. And sometimes when I do get DMs, if I don't know who they are, then you might end up in my general box. So I'm sorry for that, but here's my email for my financial services business. And please feel free to take that down and hit me there. I'm sorry. My apologies. I do usually respond within 24 hours of any communications, if not quicker. But yeah, I'm not seeing you in here. I'm sorry. I'm looking right now for a Kiki. What's your IG name? Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, because I'm looking in here right this second and I just still don't. Just refreshed. Oh, I have some requests. Let me go to the requests. No, none of these are you. Your name's not Ellie, Akinley, or Jabrano. Everybody's in my primary. Anyway, yeah, email me and I will gladly get you the information you need. Okay. Because I love helping the people. And, and I feel like using these types of things is exactly. No, no. Yeah, weird. Anyway, yeah, just email me, largalife@gmail.com, and we can get it started. No problem. No problem. Because this is actually one of the ways for specifically people who have a 450-year wealth gap between them and the other people. This is a great way for you to not only get your comeuppance because all of the insurance companies came up off of slavery. All of them came up off of slavery. Okay. So, one way for you to get your money back from what they did to us in slavery, insurance. And plus, if you get it while you're young and healthy, super affordable. You can get an insurance policy on babies after they're 6 months old, set them up in $1 million baby where you're the owner, you have access, but the person that's insured is your little baby. And then you can have your family bank set up like that, drop some money in there, and you can have more than one. The person, my mentor had like 65 IULs, 65 IULs, and they're all for $1 million each. So when they pass, their kids will get $65 million. And that sounds like a crazy amount of money, but look at the times we live in. Anyway, so yeah, email me, you guys. Thanks for being here. We went over the Olympic news, we went over the ballot check, and then we just finished it off with some good financial literacy. Check your 401ks. If you feel like rolling them over, let me know. Because if you are still a saver, but you see that your savings aren't growing in your 401k, you could also stop putting money there while the market is doing horrible, open up a new account like what I'm talking about, and save money in a new vehicle where you're going to get that return without the penalty and be able to access it sooner. So there's all different ways. I'm not saying throw the baby out with the bathwater, but just check on some different types of bathtubs to hold your money in. Okay. Anyway, you guys, thanks for coming through. I hope you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button on your way out. And when you catch this in the replay, smash the things also. Ring my bell so you can get notified when we upload stuff over here. And it's Monday. Be awesome. Be great. There's enough to go around for the good of all and harm to none. Go be your awesome self. Express your talent. Shine your light, because that's what the world needs more of, okay? Who are you not to be brilliant, as Marianne would say? Who are you not to be brilliant? Okay, so go be brilliant. Love you, Curvies. I'll see you in the next video.